He's known as Timon. This is Timon Rosalimos. He is the director of the Maddie Trader and founder of VR Digital Citizens. He's author, worldwide speaker, and also a financial trader. Coming to VR for engagement and has been just rocking it with some of the most popular new events here in alt space. He founded, if you haven't been to these events, you are so missing out. He has brought us and produced The Moral Dilemma, where they discuss moral issues on current events and other things and allow the audience to interact and discuss these issues. He has The Social Dilemma, and he also has what's it called? Oh, my brain. We're eager to hear more about that one. Great tests of our intellect. He also, one of my favorites is the Greek mythology events, Greek lessons, and also works with Ali to produce awakened awareness. Plus, there's beautiful worlds that they meet in often that are also based on these events. So, all right, everyone, are you ready? It is all yours, my friend.
I started a project called VR Digital Citizens, which is a play on words for We Are Digital Citizens, because in alt space, we are anything and everything, and the possibilities are endless. And during this project, I thought, what better way than to find a format to bring people together and to have a complete event discussion. So today I would like to share my ideas and thoughts on running successful events every time on AltSpace with pure confidence. And this also will apply to the real world. So I want to make it easy, and I want to basically talk about the 6 steps before you create or run your next event. I think that's a good place to start. Hey, Laurel? Okay, awesome. I'm also ready. Thank you for joining and thanks for your time. So step 1 is you've got to choose your passion. The most important element when you run any event is finding a topic that you are most passionate about. The more passionate you are towards a topic, the more confidence you'll have and the more likely the people will have faith in the event itself. And it doesn't matter nowadays whether you're qualified in a topic or not. Just start it. Just get it out there. Opinions matter, and your passion will exude and show. The second step is to choose the format you'd like to run. So this depends on your personality, really. Do you want to run a presentation type format where you run the event to help, educate, inform, or entertain? Do you want to run a more social meetup event where you can invite those who just want to escape and go to an online social event? For example, you can run a VR club with music where people can hang out. You can also run a gaming or quiz event where your attendees can enjoy playing and interacting with each other. You can run an event with like-minded members who wish to meet up and speak their first languages or talk about specific topics. So, for example, current news, cooking ideas, and exchanges. What about business connections? This is the best platform in the world to meet people from different countries and to discuss business ideas for free, okay? So it's really up to you. And the other type of event which you can run, and I'm sure there's many others, but the one I love running are called event discussions. These are where we choose a topic for the day, we then ask a question around the topic, and we go around the room where your audience members have the opportunity to speak or pass. Then we can move on to step 3. So step 1 was choose your passion. Step 2, choose the format you'd like to run. And step 3, start the event with class. So first impressions are everything. at an event. So when I start an event discussion, I do it in this order. The first thing, I make sure there is relevant background music, royalty free, of course. Then the second thing is that you start by welcoming the audience to the event, and you welcome your moderators as well as your co-hosts. You mention what the event is about. So what I do with that is a slide. People like slides when it comes to introductions. As soon as they pop into a world, they don't want to not know what they're in for. So the slide will tell them what the event is about. And then tell your audience what the topic of the day is, maybe with a short story. Storytelling is amazing, and everybody wants to listen to a good story. But make it short. We don't have long attention spans like we used to. And why you chose that topic. Then the fifth thing is start the event with the first question slide. So basically, I'll have a slide up and I'll have the question. So anyone who pops into the world at a later stage will pretty much know where we are during the event. Then with the event discussion is we tell them where we're going to get started. So we say we're going to start on the left-hand side, and each person will have the opportunity to speak or pass. And always mention the next person that will be speaking so everybody knows who will be speaking next, and to get them to know that it's time for them to shine. So just to conclude the step, I like to have 3 slides with each event using the presenter tool. The first one is the name of the event. The second thing, the topic of the day for the event. And the third, the question for the attendees to answer. Now we're in step 4. Make sure your attendees know exactly what is going on all the time. So there's nothing more confusing than popping into an event with no clue what it's about and having people just babble on without any context. I know that people will pop in at all times during an event, and you know that the event must go on. The show must go on. So how do you attract those? And how do you keep them into the event who've popped in at a later stage? So I've got 10 quick tips, okay? The first one is make sure you have your screen behind you with the most current question that your audience is answering. The second thing is I like to have an event banner on the wall with the name of the event and what it is. I make sure the world is small, but it can fit around 30 to 60 people. Even though AltSpace made its upgrade and now it can fit hundreds, they are still entering into the same type of world. So it's not so big that they can just fly away from the event and act as if it's a world rather than an event. 4, I always place either couches or benches or concrete around the room, showing it's a place for discussions. 5, if 10 new people pop into the event all of a sudden, I quickly welcome them, give them a 30-second introduction on which event they're in and what question we're answering together. Okay? 6, I have a banner frame with my contact details that tell the audience where to find us. This way, they feel that the event is more professional and more frequent. 7, I make sure there's light music playing in the background to take away any awkward silences and make it more welcoming in any event. I have a lovely co-host, Ali AltSpace VR, who always greets attendees before the event begins. Ali also gives the audience members the megaphone, as we believe that their time and voice is important. And there she is in the red with the hat, beautiful as always. Ali AltSpace, amazing. Couldn't have asked for a more amazing co-host. 10, tonality. So there are tips with when you're speaking at an event. You don't speak normally as if you've just woken up. because if you talk like this, it's not going to be very engaging, is it? You're probably going to pop out of this event any second now. Okay, that's my normal voice. Then you have the Timon Mati voice, where you have to flex your diaphragm. You got to speak with a loud and passionate presenter voice at any presentation. You got to keep the audience feeling the vibe and the excitement and keeping them in here. Okay? So those are the 10 tips. Step 5, don't forget about the commercial breaks. So after around half an hour during an event, it's always good to just break up the routine with something quick and new. Okay? And so halfway during the event, or every half an hour, this is your time to say, before we continue with the event, we'd first like to tell you something. Now this is your chance to tell the people where they can find you. Or, big tip, tell them how they can donate for a good cause via PayPal or your Patreon, how to join your YouTube or Instagram. Do whatever you can to attract them, and also a place where you can remind them when the next event is, which makes it more professional, that this is a recurring or frequent event that will take place. And maybe tell them what events you have coming up. Give them special information that nobody knows. That's always great. First time information that nobody knows. So sometimes at my events, for example at Oh My Brain, next week I'm going to be talking about 11 industries that blockchain will rule the world. Thanks to one of our members who are in this room who brought up that idea. Okay. Nobody knew about that. Now you guys know about this, and it's not even publicized yet. So let them know about special information. And step 6, end with a bang. So every event does come to an end. And it's important to keep your audience engaged until the very end. And so a few minutes before the end, tell your audience you're coming to the end, but the fun doesn't stop. Okay? Once again, let them know where they can get reminders to the next event. Give them a sneak peek of what they can expect next. Thank your audience, your co-hosts, your moderators, and even your special guests for whenever they pop into your world. So if you have any popular celebrities from Altspace that pop into your event, welcome them. All right? They might not want it, but they haven't told you, and this is the opportunity. And then, as hosts, you can either do two things. You can either stay and chat with them, which I know a lot of hosts do, or you can leave as normal hosts do, showing professionalism. But once again, this is all down to your personality. This is all down to how you would like to make it professional. Okay? So I'm going to now just sum up those quick tips in 6 steps, and then we can move to questions. So step 1, choose your passion for the event you're going to create or run. Step 2, choose the format you'd like to run. Step 3, start the event with class. Step 4, make sure your attendees know exactly what is going on all the time. Step 5, don't forget the commercial breaks. Step 6, end with a bang. So now there are just a few moderation tips to make it a little bit smooth sailing. And then we're going to go to questions and answers. And I have very few, so don't worry. So the first thing is that have a moderator, have someone other than you to make the event run smoothly and to make a nice smooth transition process, especially if you're recording via a system like OBS and you would just like that extra professionalism. Second thing, with an event discussion mainly, mute the audience. Mute the entire audience so that one person can speak at a time. All right? Especially for event discussions. These do not apply with all types of events. Third, allow hand raises. This shows that this is a discussion rather than a presentation. Or if there's both, let them know that they will be able to raise hands at a later stage and ask a question. Then question and go around the room in a clockwise fashion. Don't just go and choose a person here and then to answer questions. You're going to catch them off guard and you're not going to have the format. And especially if you have people popping in at the event any one time, I promise you're not going to keep up. Okay? And then always tell your audience that they have the opportunity to speak or pass. I like this because some events, the world builders create a stand that is not where they're engaged, where they're not engaging in the event, and instead they tell the people who are not going to speak to sit at the back. I like them sitting with us. And if they want to talk, they can talk. If they don't want to talk, they have the opportunity to pass. Absolutely. Kick people who are being disruptive and invading in another avatar space. This is the moderator's and admin's duty to do, rather than have somebody else kick someone from the event. Just do it and choose why you're kicking them. So be very careful as to why you're kicking them. For example, just because someone is in your space or invading you does not mean they're a troll. They might be new to alt space. They might not know that we are real people and we're a game. They might be children who've put on their parents' headset and the next thing they know, their parents are banned from alt space. So be wise with the kicking process. And then yes, music does kill the silence and it creates a more professional feel. So those are my small tips and steps for creating and running a successful event with audience and engagement and community building.